right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Planning Commission. This is our March Planning Commission meeting. We'll start off with the prayer by Pastor Stephen Dickinson, followed by the pledge by Chuck Prater. So, Stephen, if you would. All right, let's go ahead and start off with a roll call, please, Laura.
Byrd.
Here.
Lowe. Here. Prater.
Here.
Knack.
Here.
Young. Here. O'Gwen.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum present, so go ahead and get our minutes approved from our last meeting. Everyone's received those. Are there any corrections or amendments to those? If not, entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion
Second.
to approve from Commissioner Prater, second from Commissioner Gwynn. Roll call, please, Laura.
Byrd.
Yes.
Lowe. Yes. Knack.
Yes.
Prater.
Yes.
O'Gwen.
Yes.
Young. On the minutes.
Yes. All right, 6-0. Minutes are accepted. All right, it is 7:02. We're going to go ahead and open up our public hearing. And first item, Laura.
2420 and 2500 South 2nd Street, rezone from R1 Single Family to C2 General Commercial, Lemons Engineering. Okay, this property again is located at 2420 and 2500 South 2nd Street. The property owner is Jared and Jennifer Lohr. The current use is residential and the current zoning is R1. The proposed use is commercial for C2. The subject property is along South 2nd Street, which is also Highway 367, a principal arterial street, according to the master street plan. The site currently has 2 residential dwellings. Our adopted future land use plan classifies this property as turning into general commercial. Across the street is zoned residential, and there are some C2 general commercial in the proximity. The property is about 4.92 an acreage in size. They have a proposed sketch they have submitted for a commercial building with parking spaces. Again, based on the property location and the future land use plan, the applicant's request appears to be appropriate and in line with the general commercial area. Then anything that's related to the development of it will have to be submitted for a site plan review. So if you have any other questions, I can answer them. The applicant is here if you have any questions as well.
All right, thank you, Laura. Commissioners, have any questions for Laura? All right, Tim.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, my name is Tim Lemons with Lemons Engineering, and I have with me tonight Mr. Jared Lohr, who is the owner of this property. Just a couple of bullet points I want to explain to you and for you to consider while making a decision. The owner of this property owns a local flooring business here in Cabot. They plan to locate their business to this location, plan to build approximately a 4,800 square foot building, which is shown on our little concept plan. This will be complete with a showroom. At present, the property is zoned R1 and it does not allow for this type of use. Therefore, that's why we're here tonight, is to request a C2. As Ms. Laura mentioned, this request does meet the future land use plan for the property as general commercial. And one little bullet point I thought was kind of interesting. Right now, as of 2019, the Highway Department registered between 10,000 to 12,000 vehicles per day on 367, which does make it more than conducive for commercial type use. With that being said, be glad to answer any questions, or Jared, I'm sure he
Yes, sir.
would be glad to answer any questions.
All right, thank you, Tim. Jared, is there anything you want to add to that?
Not that I can think of, sir. He pretty much covered everything that we're wanting to do. Be more than happy to open a floor covering store there. We've been in business 30 years. We've been doing this, so got married and moved over here 25 years ago, so that's all we know is floors. And we were located across from Sonic for the past 5 or 6 years. We've been leasing out buildings, and so we just want to build something of our own, you know, since we know that that's what I'm going to be doing, and more than likely one of our boys. So it'll you know, just go from one to the other, or you know, it'd be a good location as well. So we're
Great,
we're
thank you.
hoping for the best there. Yeah.
All right, appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Any questions for the applicant? All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Anyone here to speak against this item?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Please come up, state your name, your address.
Mr. Chairman, this is Jack French. I live at 2223 South 2nd Street, and I own 2225 South 2nd Street, approximately a little over 2 acres. Well, we're not adjoining this piece of property, and we're not against this piece of property being rezoned. We do have some, I consider them questions with regard to the area and the impact that it's going to have on my property and some of the subject residential property. We currently have a flooding issue in that area. There's a holding pond that was built by the Stonehenge subdivision over there. There's also a traffic issue with regard to the traffic that turns into Palisade off Highway 367 at that intersection. I don't hear any addressing of these issues with regard to the site elevation. Is it going to be dirt hauled in, or are you just going to build up the site where the building is going to be? What type of building will be there? Maybe that'll come later at the site plan. And are there any limitations on what can be built there and the time frame that the building could be built? Is this going to be a zoning that's going to be available for 3 years from down the road, or does he have to do it within 6 months to a year, or have to come back to the Planning Commission to readdress the issue and the rezoning?
Yeah, most of those items will be addressed in the site plan and the further development stages of this project. As far as the rezoning goes, is it a year?
No, once the city council passes the rezone, that property is rezoned until it is changed to something else.
But it could be only C2.
Correct.
Correct. So no used car lots.
No,
Is that
in
only
a
C3?
In a C2 commercial district, you can have a small used car lot. Yes, you can. There are several things in the table of permitted uses that can go in a C2 zone district.
Yeah, okay. Well, the area is still primarily residential, and on my side of the street, we have to look at what's across the street from it. Luckily, this piece of property is not in my direct site, but there are some other vacant pieces of property through there, which I look to see rezoned. And the deal is I feel like as long as I'm a homeowner and going to have to look at it every day and drive by it every day, I should have some input into the city and what they do with the property, how they see it zoned. I thank you for your time and consideration on these issues, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate your comments. Anyone else here to speak for or against this item? If you would, please come up, state your name and your address.
My name is Mark Possinger. I live at 2212 South 2nd Street. My question is concerning, you've had the property, I don't know approximately how long, but I haven't seen anything increase the value of that property.
Sir, if you would address your comments
Oh, I'm
to
sorry.
the chair.
Yes, yes.
And
So
we'll get
I'm
rebuttals.
wondering at this point, what is it we're going to try and obtain to make this look better than what it is now? I've already got one problem child next to me at 2304. I sure don't need another.
Okay.
That's my question.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tim, do you want to provide any comments to speak towards those two comments?
And of course, Jared will have to talk about some of this, but of course, impacts as pertaining to the drainage and so forth will have to be addressed at the site plan level, which we can't do until we get through this process. But of course, everything we're doing is going to meet city code as far as the facade, what is required as far as landscaping and so forth. So you will see some detailed plans on this in the near future if we are approved here tonight. I do know, and it's kind of hard to see up on there, but our site plan or our concept plan does show what the initial plan of the property is. There are 2 residential structures on this property. One of those will have to come down immediately for the construction of the showroom. The other one, that's up to whatever Jared would like to do with that and what the city will allow. But as far as the existing buildings, one of those will be coming down immediately once the project begins.
Yes, sir, and there's actually a kind of a peach-colored house there. I believe that one is 2,500, and the yellow house beside it is 2,420. So the 2,500 is in a half-acre parcel lot, pretty close to a half-acre there. That's where we'd like, if we're approved, to put the store. And I think it would be, you know, in my opinion, it would look a lot better. That's, you know, I understand there's people that live across the street and that it may be a sore eye, and they have other problems with other people. I don't plan on being one of those problem people is what I'm saying. We're going to update it and make it better, you know. Even if we need to, you know, we haven't quite decided. We have put a lot into, that property, the yellow property, put about $28,000 inside it to rent it out when we first bought this February 9th. This past February 9th would have been 2 years ago. Unfortunately, about 8 months ago, it was broke in just the week before someone we had moving in, just to help get, we were thinking just rent it out for now to help make the payment, you know, or whatnot. Until we got the store built or were approved to do this. Anyway, someone broke in and vandalized it, ripped all the copper out, and so on. So we have held up there. That's what the stuff is outside. So I know someone's concern was, you know, what we've done, and so we're trying to make it better there, you know. But our main focus was to buy that property for. We were just a mile down the road. We did really well there, right across from Sonic, and been leasing buildings for 25 years, and we just want to build our own, you know, and of course we'll obviously keep it clean, you know, landscape, do all the thing the city requires to make it look good as, you know, good as possible. Obviously, we want it to look as good as possible as well, to bring in as many customers as possible, you know. So.
Thank you, Jared.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank y'all.
Anyone else here to speak for or against this item? All right, seeing none, I'll turn it over to the commission. Commissioners have any questions for either the applicants or those that spoke against this?
I just, if this was approved, let's consider that drive traffic issue with Palisades, you know, with the site plan review. Let's go forward. So just make that note with the engineer and owner.
Yeah, they'll be in the meeting minutes, so thanks for that. Any other comments? Again, this is just a rezoning. All site planning and drainage calculations and landscape improvements and all those will come at the next phase of submission. So,
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve from Commissioner Lowe. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner O'Gwen. A roll call vote, please, Laura.
Lowe. Yes. O'Gwen.
Yes.
Prater.
Yes.
Knack.
Yes.
Byrd.
Yes.
All right, 5-0, motion does pass. Thank you. All right, item B, Laura.
Lot 2, Parkview Place, rezone from R1 Single Family to R2S Medium Density Single Family, Bond Consulting Engineers. I'm sorry, this is actually Lemons Engineering. Okay, this is Lot 2, Parkview Place. The property owner is Juan C. Rodriguez. This is currently vacant and zoned R1. The proposed use is residential R2S. They are proposing to divide this piece of property into 3 single lots that'll be approximately 69.89 feet with road frontage. They are wanting to build single-family homes on it. The property is located in a floodplain, and the applicant has stated that they are will be requesting a LOMAR through FEMA for this property. And as you can see in the sketch that they provided, that they are going to divide it in 3 different lots. The only outstanding item that the staff is concerned with is that they need to add the finished floor elevation to each one of the lots so that it can be determined and shown that it's 2 feet above the base flood elevation. This does align with our future land use plan. And then the water department did make a comment that they will have to extend the sanitary sewer to this property for development.
All right, thank you, Laura. Commissioners have any questions for Laura? Tim?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The reason for this rezone is due to the need to have the lot width of approximately 69 feet as opposed to the minimum of 75 in an R1 zoning. It's the only reason we're here. This property is unique due to its shape, whereas the length of the property along campground is 209.68 feet. The depth is 174.55, which is much deeper than most residential lots in Cabot. The owner is requesting permission to build 3 homes on the subject property. Each lot will have an approximate area of 12,200 square feet, which is well above the 7,500 square foot minimum. Since we are requesting R2S, only single-family structures will be allowed on this property. With the R1 lot size minimum of 7,500 square feet, mathematically we could get up to 5 lots. However, that is not the intent. We would like to get just the 3 that are shown. As far as staff comments, I believe we've addressed all the staff comments relative to the rezone. The finished floor elevation will be added onto the replat, which we plan on turning in tomorrow for you to look at next month. And also, we will be addressing the sanitary sewer with the replat as well. Again, we're just here tonight for the rezone. Be glad to answer any questions. And also, the owner, JC, is here tonight as well. So if I can't answer it, I'm sure he can.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lemons. Anyone else here to speak for or against this item? Yeah, please state your name and address.
Beverly Glass, 305 Campground. I am to the east of this property. I have 2 concerns. The first concern is that is a floodplain, and in order for the property to be elevated to the proper level, I'm concerned about the water that's going to drain off onto my property. There's also a property that is to the west and then behind this lot that is already in the floodplain. And so I think that that's going to make their problems worse. And then secondly, I'm concerned about these small houses side by side right next to my property. I am concerned that that's going to drive my property value down. Thank you.
Thank you, Beverly. Tim, what size homes on these lots? I know you mentioned the 12,000 square foot for the lot size.
Yeah, the lots are actually 12,000 square feet. JC, you're looking at 1,600 square foot probably? Somewhere heated and cooled, 1,500 to 1,600. Very common with what's in the neighborhood.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Or any other? Please state your name and address, and if you're for or against this item.
My name is Ronnie Morgan. I reside at 244 Diedrich Lane. I'm in a relationship with Beverly Glass, and I'm there pretty much every day. Very aware of this property. I am in opposition of this rezoning. With Beverly, I feel like the nature of this will depreciate her property value. The lots, they are requesting for smaller than normal on the lot size. Putting 3 houses on that property, Beverly's on a full acre where she is now. Heather on the other side has a nice sized piece of property, so they'll be cramming in houses on small lots. And then secondly, the floodplain issue. I've seen that property flood massively, numerous amounts of times, And particularly the side of Beverly's property that connects to that land is not exactly high. If they elevate that, and I've heard him mention the last time that he wanted to do it 2 feet, I don't see any way that water could not run on her property and Heather's. And I don't know the gentleman's name that lives on the backside of Heather. A few months ago in January, I took some pictures of some of the flooding. Can I pass these out to you guys? I've only got, I ran out of ink, so I only got 5. No, this is the gentleman's name. He has no way to drive already. And by the way, this rain occurred about 12 to 15 hours before the picture. This is the property that's directly west. That's a different angle. I only have 2 of these. Gives you an idea how far up it goes all the way to the property. And I asked him what it was.
Thank you, Ronnie. Appreciate it. Anyone else here to speak for or against this item? All right, seeing none. Commissioners have any questions? Tim, I would like for you to address the flooding issue. And
Sure.
I mean, I know we're in a rezone, but I know we're going to address that more in site plan if this does pass.
Absolutely. Well, 2 things I'd like to point out. First of all, let's talk about the lot size one more time. I want to make sure everybody is familiar with this. Due to the shape of the property, that's why we're here tonight. If the property was 15 feet wider, we wouldn't be here tonight. We would just be filing a plat for 3 lots and building 3 houses. The lot is a lot deeper than what you normally see in Cabot. The average lot width is about 120 feet in Cabot. These are 170. But there's no way to develop this property any way other than what we have shown right now. Again, for R1 zoning, which is what we have right now, 7,500 square foot is the minimum. These lots are 12,200 square feet, almost twice, close to twice as big as what they have to be for R1. The only reason we're here is the frontage, the width. And there's 69, almost 70 feet. If we had 50 more feet, we wouldn't be here tonight. But unfortunately, we just have what we have. So I'd like you to please understand, we're not cramming small houses in there. We're just trying to utilize the property to the best that we can while keeping 12,000 square foot lots available in a 7,500 square foot zoning. As far as the drainage, looking at those pictures, of course, first I've seen them. I haven't had a chance to study them. I can say, yes, this property is in a flood zone. However, it's right on the edge of the flood zone. I believe that there are things that can be done that would remedy some of the drainage in that area that we would be more than glad to look at during the platting of the property. But it looks like localized flooding. It looks like something that's very common in Cabot. I mean, that's just Cabot. But I'd be glad to answer any questions you may have. If detention is required on this, you know, the best place to put the detention is going to be on the back side of the lot, so we could drain the water to that if that is required. But that's yet to be determined by staff.
Okay.
Thank
you,
you.
Mr. Lennon. Commissioners have any other questions?
Mr. Lemons, what is the elevation, general elevation of the lots compared to the BFE right now?
It's about a foot to a foot and a half below the BFE right now. So we'll have to bring in a couple of feet of fill for the pads. I take that back. The lot on the far east, the flood zone, just goes to the east property line, so there it's probably just a few inches, but it does get deeper the further to the west you go.
So,
If you're looking at low-marring these sites out, you'd be low-marring the structure, not the entire property?
We will not be filling the entire property, no, sir. We'll just be low on just the structure
That's my question.
and the area around the structure. Minimize the field.
Would that potentially include some type of ditch or underground piping to mitigate the water?
If we're required to put in stormwater detention, we'll have to use swales to bring the water around to the back where that detention area would be.
Commissioners have any other questions? Again, this is rezoning only. We can address drainage issues if this does pass, but seems to be an appropriate rezoning based on the size and configuration. I'd entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve from Commissioner Prater. Do I have a second?
second.
Second for Commissioner Byrd. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
Prater,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Knack,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
Lowe,
Yes.
All right, 5-0. Motion does pass. Rezoning is approved. All right, next item of business, Laura.
52 Pinewood Drive, rezone from R1 Single Family to C2 General Commercial, Bond Consulting Engineers. Okay, this property is located at 52 Pinewood Drive. It is also known as Lot 22, Block 1, Pinewood Estates, Phase 2. The property owner is Crotch Remodeling. The current zoning is R1 with a single-family unit on it. They are proposing it to be C2 General Commercial. The piece of property in question is located at the intersection of Pinewood Drive and South Pine Street. The adopted future land use plan classifies the property as general commercial. To the south of the property is C3. Existing property to the north and east, they are zoned R1, and across the street on South Pine, the property is zoned C2. So again, they are asking for a C2 general commercial rezone. They did not submit a sketch of what they were proposing to potentially build on the site as far as a commercial business or a building of any type. They just showed the existing structure. But again, this request is in line with the future land use plan that we have and along the Pine Street corridor plan that we have. So there are many pieces of commercial property along South Pine that are transitioning into commercial use. If you have any questions, I can answer them. The applicant is here if you have any questions for him as well.
All right, thank you, Laura. Mr. Bond.
Yes, sir. Tommy Bond, Bond Consulting Engineers. And I'll try to answer any questions that y'all have. I'm the substitute, so. It is commercial up and down the street. This is, I think, the one small area that's not commercial in that particular area. And so we feel that rightfully it should be commercial.
Mr. Bond, do we have an intended use for that?
I don't know that I'm, if it is, I'm not privy to that use yet.
All right, any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Bond. Anyone here to speak against this item? And please state your name and address.
My name's Irma Bailey. I live at 50 Pinewood, so I am just to the east of the property in question. I've lived there for 37 years. It's my home. And zoning this commercial, I think, will affect my property value. It will affect the day-to-day traffic in that area. We don't know if the entrance to that would be off of Pine or off of Pinewood. Very concerned about what that property would be used for. So any consideration you can give us as far as the development of that neighborhood, and there's a lot of traffic in there already, and you mentioned a car count for the second property in question. I'm sure this car count is a lot higher than that because it's 89 through town. But any consideration you can give us for the residents in that area? It is going commercial, and I do understand that. It's probably been going that way for a long time, but we get a lot of extra lights in that area. The tire company beside us is the flashing light, yellow all night long, that comes in my bedroom window. There's just a lot of things in that commercial area, so I'd like to know what that's going to be used for, and what are the exceptions if you're looking at this the C2 property, what cannot go in there. We don't want anything like a tattoo parlor or a vape store or anything that's going to have a lot of neon lights. So that's something we'd like to have considered when we do this. Thank you.
Thank you. Laura, you want to pull up what C2 uses are?
Hello, my name is Chris Terry, 1319 South Pine. I'm right across the street to the north. We got a lot of traffic that comes through. Early in the morning, school time, in the evening for school time. Everybody turns on Pinewood cutting through to get to campground. It's like a drag strip. This is only going to contribute more to that. So I'm totally against it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Anyone else here to speak against this item? All right, Tommy, do you want to address any of those items? Mr. Substitute?
No, I don't doubt any of what they said, but I think the property up and down the street is turned commercial, and obviously this property should be commercial. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners have any questions?
Well, I'd like to say that I know many years ago, we agreed that Pine Street would go commercial. If anybody wanted to change their property to commercial, they could. You know, and I don't think we ought to stop him from that, but I would be in agreement that we would, you know, through the site plan review, you know, try to put something in there that would, you know, help the existing neighbors.
Yeah, whatever goes in would have to have correct, you know, buffers, screening, not having lights that shine on to the adjacent residential properties, fencing. I mean, there's all kinds of regulations that the city would have that if this did go commercial on this property, that where it abuts the residential would have, you know, requirements and stipulations for. It is, like Commissioner Prater said, it is land use wise planned for all that to be commercial, all up and down Pine. So that is the way of the future land use map that was adopted long ago. Laura, if you would mind, maybe read off a few of the allowances for C2, what's involved.
C2 is our biggest general commercial. It can have an automobile repair and service shop. It can have a small automobile sales and lease. It can be a general commercial strip center, a small scale commercial center. It can be a convenience store. The single family dwelling that is on the lot can reside there. A small office can be built there. No 24-hour display of any kind of commercial can be there. A personal care facility can be there. A public or semi-public facility could be there. And then a small veterinary clinic could actually be there by right.
Could you explain what that 24-hour?
That means that they can have, if it is a commercial zone in a C2, they can have no 24-hour commercial display of merchandise. That means they can't have a rack of tires sitting out there overnight. They would have to bring them in the store or put them behind a fence or something like that. So they can't have merchandise displayed outside for 24 hours.
Thank you, Laura. Any other questions or comments?
My comments, I agree with what Chuck said and what you said about, that's kind of the way this is going, and we just need to make sure when we review the site plan, those are taken into account.
Agreed.
Well, if you look at the lot size, be about .677 acres. So that's just barely over a half an acre. So that's going to limit the size of commercial building that can go in there based on the parking and everything that's required by the city too.
Correct, only 50% on a C2, only 50% of the lot coverage can be covered by the building itself.
So that reduces it by half. Yeah. Any other questions? If not, I entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve, Commissioner Byrd.
Second.
Second from Commissioner Lowe. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
Lowe? Yes. Byrd?
Yes.
Prater?
Yes.
Knack?
Yes.
O'Gwen?
Yes.
All right, 5-0. The rezoning is approved. All right, it is 7:36, and we're going to go ahead and close the public hearing and move into Planning Commission new business. Item A.
All right, replat Lot 5R, Wellington Place, Harper Surveying. This is a replat of Lot 5R, Wellington Place. The location is 21 Wellington Place. The property owner is, if I pronounce this correctly, I'm going to be impressed. Vidir Family Revocable Trust. The current use is existing dwelling, zoned R1. They are requesting a lot consolidation of Lot 5 and Lot 9 to be proposed as Lot 5R. The property, again, is going to be about .77 acres in size. Lot 9 is currently unimproved and vacant. That is in a cul-de-sac of Wellington Cove. Lot 5 has an existing dwelling that is located on Wellington Place. Again, they are just requesting to replat these two lots into one. The only outstanding item that the Water Department wants to make sure that it is very well noted on the replat is that the easement on Lot 9 cannot be abandoned because that is their access to the sewer force main pump station that is in the rear of the property. Other than that, they have addressed all staff comments. If you have any questions for me, I can answer them. If not, then we do have someone here that can represent this replat if you have any questions for them.
Laura, this feels very familiar. Is this?
It is, yes. Right adjacent to it.
This is adjacent to where?
Yes.
Okay. When they were going to
No.
dedicate it back to the city,
Correct.
adjacent and
Correct.
behind.
So this one is my name's Jamie Lefevre. I'm here with helping the Verdiers replat this lot for their future use of it. They currently live on the Lot 5 and bought the lot behind them, Lot 9. What they're wanting to do is put an accessory building back there and do some other things to improve their lot to do that, to put that building back there. It all has to be one lot. We can't just take another lot, of course y'all know, and just put an accessory building back there on it for the city and Greystone HOA rules. And so
the HOA rules will allow an accessory
yes,
building to go?
as long as it's on one lot and it passes, of course they have their own set of things they want, just like the city would.
But does that also mean that you could put a privacy fence all across the back, which would go all the way up next to that cul-de-sac?
I believe that would be a question for them, but I believe that it has to still stay off, but I'm not sure. Maybe Laura
They
can answer
still
that.
have to meet, they would not be that, on the cul-de-sac, they would not be able to put a fence all the way up to the road.
Correct, yeah. I was gonna say, I believe there's still some rules on how far.
Yes.
And their plan is to have another little back driveway off of that. And so just to be a little bit more clear on what they're wanting to build just some type of small pool house back there. They're thinking about doing some type of small play area, some concrete for whether it's tennis, basketball, that sort of thing back there.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant?
The easement that the water department's asking, that's paved now, isn't it?
Correct.
It's
That's
not
that
just a dirt road.
concrete. It's the easement along with the main drainage for that cul-de-sac that all goes back there to that I wouldn't call it a retention pond, but whatever that is, back the retention creek that flows back between 9 and 10 and kind of goes back in there and leaves Greystone out that back way.
The replat is just yielding to those existing easements and just,
Yes, sir. There, I don't believe we tried to take away anything as far as in those easements.
No, the
Just
water department
being
just
clear.
wanted to be
Yeah.
very clear that that was to remain, yes.
All right, any other questions? Can I get a motion?
motion to approve.
A motion for Commissioner Lowe. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second for Commissioner Prater. Roll call vote, please. Laura?
Knack,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Lowe,
Yes.
All right, 5-0. Motion is approved. Next item.
replat Lot 22RR and 23R, Mystery Lake of Greystone, Tucker Surveying. Again, this is another replat for Lot 22RR and 23R, Mystery Lake at Greystone. This is located on Cascade Drive. The property owners are D.W. Wilson Home Builders. It is currently vacant lot zoned R1. They are wanting to split this back into two lots. This has been replatted multiple times, so they're trying to get it back into two lots, two buildable lots. So that is the reasoning for the 22RR and 23R, because they've been replatted once already. The only outstanding comment in the staff report is just to have the certification signed if it is approved this evening.
All right, any questions? Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
A motion from Commissioner Lowe, a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Knack. Roll call, please, Laura.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Knack,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
Lowe,
All right, 5-0. Replat is approved, or the re-replat. All right, next item.
preliminary plat, The Farm by Pediatrics Plus, Smith and Goodson. Okay, this is a preliminary plat that is going to be located north of West Main Street, just to the north, actually to the east of New Life Church of Cabot, and to the north of the assisted living center that is currently located on West Main Street. The property is vacant and unimproved. It is currently zoned R4M with a special use permit for a pediatric therapy services. The property is approximately 19.05 acres in size. Again, it is zoned R4M with a special use permit to allow for the requested use. They have also submitted a site plan in conjunction with this preliminary plat that y'all will review here shortly. They will be building over 10,000 square foot therapy facility on the site. It will have access off of West Main Street via a 50-foot ingress-egress access easement. There are a few outstanding items in the staff report, but the applicant did let me know right before the meeting that some of these items have already been addressed and that they will turn them in as soon as I send them a letter with the items that are outstanding. Other than that, they've addressed everything else, and they are here if you have any questions for them on this preliminary plat.
Commissioners, have any questions on the preliminary plat? I think we can dig into the site plan in the next couple items, so get a motion to approve.
Motion to approve preliminary plat with the staff comments.
Motion to approve with staff comments from Commissioner Lowe. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Byrd. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
Knapp,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Lowe,
All right, 5-0. Motion is approved. All right, next item, Laura.
All right, site plan, The Farm by Pediatrics Plus, Smith and Goodson. This is the site plan for this same piece of property that you just approved a preliminary plat on. They are proposing to build a Pediatric Plus therapy facility with a barn and a gym. It is going to have also about 46 parking spaces to accommodate this size of a building. In the comments from the staff, they did a great job addressing just about all the site plan comments that we had, except for just the minor ones that we always have for signatures and a grading permit. There were a couple additional comments after review that the lighting plan that they provided was not legible to ensure that the lights would meet the dark sky guidelines, as well as the silt fence needed to be adjusted and added around the detention pond on the southwest corner. But again, I met with the applicant prior to the meeting, and they've already addressed those items. This appears that it will be a very nice addition facility for a therapy center to the city of Cabot. So other than that, they have addressed everything. If you have any questions for me, I can answer them. If not, again, the applicant and the contractor is here if you have any questions for them.
Would the applicant or contractor like to come up and add any additional comments?
David Tapp, 2740 Collins, Conway, Arkansas. I was here 2.5 years ago. I recognize most of y'all's faces, and we talked about kids with autism. And we talked about building a farmhouse for kids here in Cabot. Fortunately, we have opened one in Bryant 6 months ago, and we've opened one in Conway 4 months ago, and those two are doing great. And so we got with TAC Construction. We said, hey, we're ready to start Cabot here soon. And so after tonight, if everything goes well, they'll start hopefully next week. The only correction I'll have is we've added actually 63 parking spaces instead of 43. I think we've added a couple more parking spaces. And she mentioned about a barn and a gym. So our house that we have construction, on the site plan, I think it says barn and it's attached to the house. The barn is not really attached to the house. If it says barn in the site plan, that's actually a gym with turf in it and swings for kids. Our barn would actually be outside of the house. It's usually about 200 yards away from the house. But we're excited to be in Cabot and get started on this project. And this will be number 3 farmhouse for kids that we have in Arkansas, and help kids with autism to explore and learn about the gardens and the animals, the chickens, the greenhouses, and all the fun things that they're going to be able to do at the farm.
Yeah, thank you. So Laura, if we change the site plan to add additional parking, are we approving this site plan or the one the new one?
This one should have 63. Probably when I prepared my report, I did not count correctly.
Okay. Yeah, so the one we've got submitted is the current one. Okay, great. Thank you.
And I will make it noted that I have let the owners know that the city council is working on an ordinance to allow the specific farm animals that they are wanting, because right now the city of Cabot's ordinances do not allow the farm animals that they are wanting to have, but we are working on writing an ordinance for that.
Commissioners, have any questions?
Is that the driveway going into it? Does it go along that creek?
No. It actually goes on the east side of where they are. That drawing was very hard to get depicted. It actually goes on the east side of where they're building those extra cottages next to the assisted living center on West Main Street. So the cottages and the assisted living center have the creek that goes down the middle of them. This drive is on the east side of the property.
Okay.
Any other questions? If not, entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Commissioner Lowe, second from Commissioner Prater. Roll call, please, Laura.
Lowe?
Yes.
Byrd?
Yes.
Knapp?
Yes.
O'Gwen?
Yes.
Prater?
Yes.
All right, 5-0. Motion is approved. All right, next item.
Preliminary plat, Lot 1, CK Addition, Bond Consulting Engineers. Okay, this is a preliminary plat for a one lot that is located at 410 North 4th Street. The property owner is Sundown Management LLC. The property is vacant and currently zoned R4. They are proposing this just to be a one lot preliminary plat so that they can build a one duplex unit with parking on this site that you will see shortly after this preliminary plat. They have addressed all the comments except for gathering signatures once final approval is granted. Mr. Bond is back here with us.
Tommy
again.
Bond, and I'm here to try to answer your questions. I do know a little bit about this one. I think some of the questions you had was the right-of-way of the street, which turned out to be 60 feet. And you rezoned this property maybe 3 months ago. So we're just following through on the rezoning.
Roll call vote, please, Laura.
Knack,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Lowe.
All right, 5-0. Motion is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, Laura.
Site plan CK Addition, Bond Consulting Engineers. Again, this is just the site plan for the same piece of property that you had approved for the preliminary plat. They are proposing a duplex on this property with parking associated on it. They have addressed all the comments except for a grading plan and signatures, just like the previous. So if you have any questions for me, I can answer them. If not, Mr. Bond can answer it if you have any.
Commissioners have any questions? All right. If not, I'd entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion. Got a motion from Commissioner Knack. Second from somebody?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Byrd. Roll call, please, Laura.
Byrd,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Knack,
Yes.
Lowe.
All right, that 5-0, that motion is approved as well.
Thank you.
Preliminary plat, Discount Tire Cabot Edition, Vasquez Engineering. All right, this is a preliminary plat for Discount Tire Cabot Edition. It is located along Willie Ray Drive. It will be to the east of what is located as 232 Willie Ray Drive. It is undeveloped in Zone C3. They are proposing a commercial tire shop. They are requesting a preliminary plat approval in conjunction with the site plan that is the next agenda item. It is already properly zoned for what they are going to build on it. They've addressed all items except for getting signatures if this is approved this evening. If you have any questions for me, I can answer them. The applicant is here. If you have any questions for him, either on the preliminary plat or the site plan.
Commissioners have any questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve the preliminary plat.
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve, Commissioner Prater.
Second.
Second, Commissioner O'Gwen. Roll call, please, Laura.
Lowe.
Yes.
Byrd.
Yes.
Knack.
Yes.
O'Gwen.
Yes.
Prater.
Yes.
At 5-0, motion is approved. All right, last item.
Site plan Discount Tire. Okay, again, this is the same property that you just approved a preliminary plat on. Again, it is undeveloped piece of property that is approximately 1.95 acres in size. They are proposing a commercial building on this to house a discount tire shop with parking as well as, as well as drainage and sidewalks. Their utilities extension will be coming from the rear of the property. There were a couple outstanding items that were in the staff report that I've already discussed with the engineer that we can get addressed after, if y'all approve this tonight.
Thank you, Laura. Applicant want to add anything to the?
Sure. Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Juan Vasquez. I'm the engineer for Discount Tire Company. Discount Tire, if you don't know who they are, they're one of the largest tire dealers in the country. They have over 1,200 stores throughout the U.S., several here in Arkansas. I think the closest one might be Benton. There's one in Searcy, Conway, Russellville, North Little Rock, several in Northwest Arkansas. Discount Tire, all they do is sell tires and wheels, no mechanical work, no body work, no batteries, nothing like that, all clean operation. Everything's conducted within the store. All tires are stored within the store. There's no used tires outside or in the trash bins. Everything is, clean, and they are excited to be back here in Arkansas again.
Thank you, Juan. Appreciate that. Commissioners have any questions?
One more thing I'd like to add.
Okay.
If you don't know about Discount Tire, so they offer free air checks to anybody. So you're going on vacation, swing by, pull in, get your tires checked, fill them up, leave. Also, they do free tire repair if it can be fixed. So if you wake up in the morning, going to work, you see a nail in your thread, take it to Discount Tire, they'll plug it for you for free and send you on your way, and hopefully come back and buy a set of tires in the future. If it's on the sidewall, they can repair that. That's safe. But anything inside the thread, they can typically fix it. So it's just a good service to add to you.
Nice to know.
All right, I'd entertain a motion to approve. Anyone?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from Commissioner Knack and a second Commissioner Lowe. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
Knack,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Lowe. Yes. Byrd,
Yes.
Prater.
Yes.
All right, 5-0. Motion is approved. Thank you. All right. Last item, any community input? Anyone? The remaining folks that are here. The troopers. All right, seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Aye.
All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. All right. We are adjourned at 7:57.